A few moments ago, we heard Pope Francis stress that a strong sense of ethics motivates journalists in the pursuit of news and in playing a role developing modern culture. Mary Poust is the Catholic Communications Director for the Diocese located in New York State's capital, Albany. She's also a lifelong journalist. We discuss what the pontiff has to say. Mary, the Holy Father wonders, how can media be put to the service of a culture of encounter? Your thoughts?
I know that's a tough one, right? You hear what he has to say and you're like, oh, this makes things even more difficult than they already are. I think that for those of us in the media, especially now that we do so much with social media, even though we're in traditional media too, that really does open up the door for encounter because it's become so interactive. And so I think it does allow us to start to interact with people and have those moments, even sometimes digitally, and then it goes out into the real world. Mm-hmm. So I've experienced it certainly through our diocesan Facebook page or even my own blog, things like that, where I am now in touch with people who are sharing things back with me, as opposed to when I was a straight print journalist, where it was really much more of a one-way conversation.
Mary, has the media, as a journalist, has the media lost its respect for truth?
It does sort of feel that way lately. Even yesterday, I think I put something up on Facebook that said, I wouldn't have gotten away with this in Journalism 101. And I was referring to that, that it does seem like, I think because the internet has made it, people are so reactive. The Pope also talked about, compromise, and we don't see that as much anymore. We've got the extremes speaking the loudest. And so I think a lot of us who are trying to speak the truth, a lot of media out there, and I know a lot of great media people, secular and Catholic, who are out there speaking the truth. Unfortunately, we don't hear them they don't get as much attention, so they're not as loud in the public square. But I do think the internet has maybe changed that a bit because of the fact that anybody can put themselves out there. It has a platform.
Yes.
And it maybe has changed the way news is happening. And everything is so fast that I think people don't always dig for the truth because they're too worried about beating the other guy.
Mary, I have to ask you, why is it so important that the Holy Father, the leader of the Catholic Church, is addressing this issue?
I think it's great because he has, first of all, he has such, he's got the pulpit and everybody, the whole world is listening to him, Catholics and non-Catholics alike now. And so I think it is important for him to say that and put it out there and make people maybe stop and think. And, he's very much that way. He speaks the truth. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. And most of the time, though, it really brings people to him. I think speaking the truth often, that's what draws people in. I find when I am most honest in the things I write or blog about or speak about, that's when I really do have those moments of encounter, because that's when people recognize they're not the only one feeling that way. So I think the Pope goes out there and he shows us how to do it and calls us, challenges us to, to do what we're really called to do as journalists and media people, whether we're Catholic or secular.